Marc Marquez addresses Valentino Rossi as the war of words continues. Marc Marquez has hit back at accusations made by Valentino Rossi, and Ducati GP25 tested for the first time. Marc Marquez thanks Pecco Bagnaia for calming Misano crowd boos on the podium. I want to say thanks to Pecco. They showed me a video where he was trying to calm it a bit. Let's discuss watch until the end. Marc Marquez expressed gratitude towards Pecco Bagnaia for his efforts to calm down the booing from some fans at Misano, as Marquez celebrated his victory in the San Marino MotoGP. Marquez has often faced booing at Italian races stemming from past conflicts with local star Valentino Rossi. Unaware at the time, Bagnaia, who finished second and is a hometown favourite, gestured to the crowd to stop their negative reaction. Looking ahead to this weekend's race at the same circuit, Marquez commented, "It's always been a part of it, but if you support one rider, there's no need to boo others. I want to thank Pecco because I didn't see it on the podium, but they showed me a video where he tried to calm things down. Riders can have an impact on this, not others or journalists." Double MotoGP champion Bagnaia, reflecting on the incident, finds booing any rider disrespectful, a sentiment he shares with his peers. Like Frankie Morbidelli said a few weeks ago, "Haters will hate," Bagnaia remarked. "It's really disrespectful because we give our all every time. I've experienced it myself." Teammate Enea Bastianini, who joined Marquez and Bagnaia on the podium, echoed these sentiments. "It's not pleasant to hear booing on the podium, and I hope things change in the future. Respect is crucial for all riders." Title leader Jorge Martin also emphasized the risks riders take, saying, "We give our 100%, we put our lives on the line. There should be more respect, and booing doesn't make sense." Marc Marquez has addressed the recent remarks made by his longtime rival Valentino Rossi, which have reignited one of MotoGP's most controversial chapters. Rossi's comments, made during a podcast appearance, stirred the MotoGP community by revisiting the dramatic end of the 2015 season, a moment that still resonates with fans and riders alike. Rossi recounted the events that led to his infamous penalty after a clash with Marquez during the 2015 Malaysian Grand Prix in Sepang. The penalty forced Rossi to start from the back of the grid during the final race of the season in Valencia, effectively ending his hopes of winning the championship. According to Rossi, Marquez reacted with apparent satisfaction when Rossi was handed the crippling penalty, which he believes cost him the title. In response to these claims, Marquez spoke to DAZN, offering a calm and focused reply. "Of course, I've heard the comments and even watched the video," Marquez said, "but honestly, I have much bigger things on my mind right now than getting caught up in words from the past. My focus is on the track and on what I have to do as a rider." Marquez made it clear that he's not interested in revisiting the drama of 2015, emphasizing that he's moved beyond those battles. "I've already been through all of that, so I know exactly where my head needs to be," he continued. "It didn't affect me then, and it won't affect me now. I won't let anyone or anything throw me off course." In his recent podcast appearance, Rossi detailed the backstory of what happened after the penalty was announced. He was punished for his on-track contact with Marquez during the Sepang race, an incident that Rossi felt was unfairly judged. At the time, Marquez's manager, Emilio Alzamora, started insulting me, Rossi recalled. "I asked him why he was even there since he wasn't from Honda. It turned into a bit of a scuffle." Rossi went on to explain the gravity of the penalty he received. "In the end, race director Mike Webb announced that I would have to start last in Valencia. That had never happened before in MotoGP, and I was stunned. According to the rules, I should have been given a ride-through penalty in Sepang, which would have dropped me from 3rd to 5th place, but instead they made me start from the back of the grid in the final race, effectively cutting me off from the championship." Rossi also claimed that Marquez's reaction in that moment revealed a sense of satisfaction. "When Webb announced the penalty, my blood ran cold because I knew it meant I had lost the title," Rossi said. "But my first reaction was to look at Marquez, who had his head down. Then he looked up at Alzamora, and it was like they were celebrating. It was as if they had conspired to make sure I wouldn't win." Rossi's recount of the events paints a picture of betrayal and a lasting grudge, suggesting that Marquez played a role in influencing the outcome of the championship. Despite the passage of time, the 2015 season's controversies continue to cast a shadow over both riders' careers. As the MotoGP paddock heads into the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix, Marquez's attention is firmly fixed on securing his third consecutive victory. Coming off back-to-back wins, the 14 days without a win feels like a long time, doesn't it? Marquez joked during his interview with Dazen. The two recent victories have clearly boosted his morale, but he remains focused on the task ahead. The wins give you confidence and keep you motivated, but more than anything, they bring peace of mind that you're on the right path. Everything is going well, and I just need to keep doing what I've been doing. Marquez also acknowledged that the upcoming race at Misano would bring its own set of challenges. We're starting a new weekend with new conditions. The weather will likely be colder, and we might even see some rain during the sessions, he said. Reflecting on the recent test at Misano, Marquez added, "We used the test to eliminate things that hadn't worked during the past races. By the end, I was back on the same bike I used to win because it's the one I felt most comfortable with." Despite the ongoing chatter surrounding his rivalry with Rossi, Marquez seems focused on the future, letting his performance on the track speak for itself. With his eyes set on another victory, he's clearly determined to stay on course, undeterred by the controversies of the past. Ducati, MotoGP's reigning world champion constructor, has reportedly begun testing its 2025 GP25 prototype at Jerez, despite claims from sporting director Davide Tardozzi that the bike doesn't exist. The private test, conducted by Michel Pirro, follows Ducati's domination of the 2024 season, where they lead the constructors' standings by 229 points over KTM and have won all but one race. Pirro hinted at the GP25 test on his website, emphasizing Ducati's commitment to continuous improvement. Speedweek later confirmed the tests in Spain, which focus on refining the already strong engine and braking characteristics seen in the GP24. Riders like Pecco Bagnaia have noted that while the GP24 hasn't evolved much, its predecessor, the GP22, was the most balanced bike. The GP25 will likely aim to recapture that balance while enhancing performance ahead of a potential engine freeze through 2026 and the 2027 shift to an 850cc format. Ducati, MotoGP's reigning world champion constructor, has accelerated development of its 2025 machine, with reports of the first test of the GP25 prototype taking place this week. Following the San Marino Grand Prix, the final in-season test for 2024 was held, where several manufacturers began testing early prototypes for 2025. Notably, Ducati's test team, led by rider Michel Pirro, was absent from this official test, and Ducati's race riders didn't appear to be testing many 2025 components. Ducati's sporting director, Davide Tardozzi, had told the media at Misano that the GP25 doesn't exist at this stage. However, a preview of a private test at Jerez posted on Pirro's personal website suggested otherwise. Pirro hinted at testing the GP25 prototype for the first time, stating, "The tests planned at the Jerez track will focus on the development of the Desmosedici. Although our performance in the World Championship is at the highest level, it remains vital for us at Ducati to think about 2025. The strength of our group lies in our philosophy of continuous evolution and constant improvement." Reports from Speedweek confirmed that Ducati was indeed testing the GP25 in Spain. Ducati has been dominating the 2024 season, leading the constructors' standings by a substantial 229 points over KTM, ahead of the Emilia-Romagna GP. The manufacturer has won all but one race in 2024, with Marc Marquez securing victories for Gresini Racing at both the Aragon and San Marino GPs on a year-old Desmosedici. The gap between the GP23 and GP24 models has been more significant than anticipated, particularly with the latter showing improvements in engine braking, which had been a challenge for some riders. Despite this, it is unlikely that the GP25 will be a radical departure from the GP24, given how strong the current package has proven to be. Double world champion Pecco Bagnaia recently admitted that the GP24 hasn't evolved significantly since the start of the season, noting in August that the GP22 was the most balanced bike of all. Thus, development for the GP25 is expected to focus on regaining that balance while building on the GP24's powerful engine and braking performance. With a proposed freeze on engine development through 2026 looming, ensuring the GP25's engine is top tier is crucial. The freeze will come into effect before MotoGP's switch to an 850cc formula in 2027, with some manufacturers potentially exempt under current concession regulations, depending on their results. Hey MotoGP fans, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest action.